Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, Keith K. Lava Lacada. What's going on, bro? Hey, bro, Tiny.
Bro, Tani, man. I like that one. That was better than Tony Bromo last week. That's double
like
the
that.
bro. What's
Double
going
the
on,
bro.
everybody? Good to see you, Frankie.
You too, buddy. You too. Well, let's get right into it. Wicked Pissah news. What do you got for us?
Okay, the NBA season is heating up. The free agency transactions are moving, and one of our own guys, Jason Tatum, just got the bag. The biggest bag in NBA history. Jason Tatum signed a 5-year, $315 million Supermax extension. Very deserving, just won the championship. You know, I'm glad we brought him back, man, because now we have Jalen and Jason in Boston for the foreseeable future.
$300 million plus both of them. 304, 314. His contract also has the trade kicker clause in it. I'm not sure if you saw that or know what that is.
Yep,
but
I know.
It's basically a trade bonus. So if they ever trade him, and Jaylen Brown has this too. A lot of superstars have this, but it's something that's written in the contracts. If they ever get traded, which you have two big superstars, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't work out after a while. And there is some animosity. Maybe they trade one. Mm-hmm. If they do, whatever's remaining on that contract, it's usually up to 15% of a bonus that they get. So say they're owed $100 million left on their contract. $15 million in their pocket.
Just getting traded.
Just for getting traded. So
let's hope that doesn't happen.
Exactly. Let's win a bunch more.
At least for the foreseeable future. We saw it happen to the likes of Paul Pierce. But yeah, I want to keep these guys around for a bit, Frankie.
Let's do it.
And also, we brought back another one of our own guys. Derek White signed a 4-year, $126 million extension. Glad we brought him back as well. You know, when we acquired him from the Spurs, he wasn't really a household name. But, I mean, for bringing him in and what we had to trade to get rid of him, I believe it was like Romeo Langford and a few picks.
Yeah, I thought it was obviously it's a great
Brad
acquisition.
Stevens is a genius, man. He's all have been saying that.
Amazing.
And he should have been the GM the whole time. Loved what Danny did for us back in the day, but Brad is making some great moves.
It's crazy. He just the whole starting five is back from the championship team,
and that's what we
year.
needed.
So they're all back. Let's run it back.
And like you said, bringing them all back, we also brought back Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, and Neemias Quetta. So we'll see how those guys. Luke Cornett, I love that we brought him back. Those contested shots he does, man, so
he
funny.
Jumps from
jumps
25 feet away.
Right, his arms are like 25 feet in the air,
He's
man.
so
I love it. But yeah, I'm glad we brought those guys back. And like I said, though, the NBA free agency is still going.
Yep.
So in Philly, the process is still loading. The Philadelphia 76ers have signed 9-time All-Star Paul George to a 4-year, $212 million deal. Now, not only that, the team also extended Tyrese Maxey to a 5-year, $204 million deal. So, Frank, my only thing with this is, and I'm not taking anything away from Paul George. I know he's a great player, like it just said, 9-time All-Star.
I like him.
But I've noticed with Philly, now, obviously Joel Embiid, trust the process. The process has had Jimmy Butler, James Harden, now we got Paul George. And in my opinion, again, we saw with Paul George how he had the debacle in LA last year with Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
They really couldn't get things going. Either they were injured, it just was inconsistent play. I don't know how he's going to do in Philly. I'll be honest with you. It seems like they're getting desperate. I mean, what do you think of this, Frank?
I like the trade, actually, and Vegas likes the trade a lot, too. They actually moved up to the second best odds at 8-1 to win the championship. The Celtics are still the 3-1 favorites
just
to win.
because of Paul George.
Because of the Paul George. So, I mean, their problem has always been Embiid staying healthy. I mean, they use him a lot, and I mean, if you're the coach, you got to rest him. Save him for the playoffs.
He's very versatile for what he brings to the table, dude. Rebounding, shooting,
you cannot
blocking.
guard this guy no matter what. He's huge.
And those injuries are the only thing slowing him down.
That's what it is every year. So I think it's great. I mean, like I said, they just jumped to 8-1. They're tied with OKC for second best odds to win.
I did not know that. OKC, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, they're getting some love, man. Being number one in the West last year really did it for
They made
them.
a couple good signings, too. They traded for Caruso, so, I mean, they have few different things going on in OKC. Plus, they played real well last year. So, yeah, they're 8-1 in Vegas.
We'll see how Philly and OKC do. But, I mean, let's talk about the team that lost in the finals to the Celtics, Frank, the Dallas Mavericks.
I like it.
Now, this guy they signed, he was with one team for a long time, 13 seasons to be exact. The Mavericks have signed Klay Thompson to a 3-year, $50 million deal, ending his 13-year tenure with the Golden State Warriors. Now, during his 13 years here, we all know, 4-time champ, 5-time All-Star. It seemed like him and Steph were going to retire, go off in the sunset of Splash Brothers. But unfortunately, it seemed last season, Klay Thompson was, quote-unquote, miserable with how everything was going in Golden State. Literally, they said he was miserable, and he even told Steph Curry, I read a report on this, do not help. He's like, if I got to go, I got to go. And Draymond, actually, when he heard the news, he said he cried.
It is. I mean, it is going to be different to see him in a different uniform. And again, going back to the Vegas odds, They jumped up from wherever they were. I think they were 12-1 to 10-1. So they're like 4th or 5th. So I mean, Celtics are 3-1 odds. OKC and 76ers 8-1 odds to win. The Knicks are right there at plus 825, and then Denver at plus 875, and then right there is the Mavericks 10-1 after the signing. So to win the championship. So those are the Vegas odds right now.
They could have used him last year, man. And again, obviously, glad they didn't have him last year. But think about what Luka and Kyrie could have been distributing the ball. They're both getting covered heavily. You got Klay sitting on the wing, man.
Well, that's what I mean. If you have an outside shooter like on a team like that,
right,
that can, you have to respect that
whole
shot.
new ball game. It wouldn't have been a 5-game
It's a great
series.
signing for them.
Very big signing.
It's a
Very good signing for them.
Yeah.
But and I go back to Klay real quick, Frank. His last game with the Warriors against the Kings was actually to get them into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 0 points.
Oh, yeah.
0 for 10 shooting and 0 for 6 threes.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think that had to play a role in why he left as well.
He was obviously just not happy with the situation.
Bad taste in everybody's mouth
Yeah.
to end the season like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And moving on to some more NBA news. The Warriors, the team we just talked about losing Klay Thompson, they acquired Buddy Hield in a sign and trade with the 76ers. Now, Hield will sign a 2-year, $21 million deal. And get this, the 76ers, they're only receiving a 2031 second-round pick. Frank, I'm going to be 39 when that happens.
It's kind of crazy. We talked about it last week with the 2031.
14-year-olds.
What are they doing? Like, again, there's a few of these going on. But I did read, and I don't know where I saw this, but we'd have to double check it. But I heard that Buddy Hield in the last, 6 or 7 years, alongside Curry, he had the second most made threes in the NBA.
Wow, so they're bringing in the right guy.
Yeah,
that's what they based their whole team around.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so I'd have to double check that, but maybe it was a percentage of threes. And he was second, but he was something with him being second behind Curry.
I like Buddy Hield. I always thought he was a
He's
pretty
a good
efficient
player.
shooter as well.
He's a good player. He's not Klay Thompson.
No,
but he's a good
certainly
player.
not. I was just going to say he's not Klay Thompson, but I mean he definitely will help. And if he's shooting good threes, that's what they like you just said, build their team around. And of course, LeBron James agreed to a 2-year, $104 million deal to stay with the Lakers. Oh, big surprise there, Frank.
2 years, huh?
2 years.
Must be nice. $52 million.
Right. But we all know why he stayed there. We talked about it last week. Bronny's on the team. And actually, Bronny just signed his deal as well. He signed a 4-year, $7.9 million deal with the Lakers. Now, they're saying they expect him to spend the majority of the time with the G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers.
And you know what's something else I read about LeBron's contract? He has a no-trade clause.
Okay.
You know, there's only one other NBA player in the entire league that has a no-trade clause.
Stephen Curry?
Nope.
Giannis?
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
There's the only 2 players in the NBA currently with a no-trade clause are Bradley Beal and LeBron James.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. But
wow.
Interestingly enough, Bronny's deal does not have a no-trade clause. So if you want to get around it, trade his son, and LeBron will give you LeBron too.
Right.
Then he'd have to waive his no-trade clause to stay with his son.
Yeah, man. I feel like
funny.
LeBron's planning to probably just spend the rest of his career in L.A. And obviously Bronny being there, he's going to train his son. It all works out great.
It's great, yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's an option, again, moving forward on the 3rd year, possibly. And then if Bryce comes out in a couple of years, like we talked about,
man,
maybe he'll get them all together. You know what I mean?
Bryce standing at 6'6", man, he's going to be a pretty good prospect. And nothing against Bronny, but I think he's actually going to be a better prospect.
Well, yeah, Bronny averaged like 4 points a game. I mean, there was people on his team that had 16, 17 points.
I saw that. One of them went undrafted.
And they didn't even get drafted.
Yes,
so,
I saw that.
You know, good. Again, as a father, I would love to play sports with my kid, and I'm happy for them as a family. But, I mean, there are definitely some people that probably were more deserving.
There was finesse in that organization with LeBron James being there. And obviously, they saw Bronny coming in. Maybe
Bronny could end up being nasty.
That's
just
what I'm
because
saying.
you know what I mean? His father can teach him.
Right.
You know, if anybody, and he's been teaching him.
Of course.
It's like he could have that pedigree that
out of
translate
nowhere.
well.
It's like basically everybody's doubting him, and maybe that's going to motivate him more.
Giannis came in the league, and he grew a ton.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's one of the best. And he was like not like
he was
somebody that was
skinny.
like, oh my goodness, like this is the guy.
He
like
could
Giannis
dunk
is
nasty, but he
unbelievable.
was skinny, man, when he first came.
And he grew like 5 or 6 inches.
Right.
So, he was so you never know.
I'm excited for Bronny, man.
Yeah,
so
I'm happy for him.
instead of showing the hate, let's show the love. Hope the kid does well.
I do.
I mean, he is a Laker, not a fan of the Lakers, but again, you want to see this.
Do well against every team but us.
Right. This could be a cool story, so I'm really hoping it works out for them. But we got some more NBA news that doesn't, pertain to free agency. And Frank, I'm going to have you break that down for us.
Yeah, so the Jonte Porter situation, I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen that or know who he is, I mean, he's like a league minimum guy. He only made like $410,000. Only made $410,000.
Michael Porter Jr.'s older brother.
Yeah, that's true. So this kid got banned for life from the NBA, and now caught a federal case for throwing games.
Very messy.
It's a real long story, but definitely take a look. He he pretended to get injured and had people bet on his unders. So I mean, his unders were usually like 4 points, 3 rebounds, low numbers. But we're talking like $1 million in bets.
I know. It was,
and he would come out of the game and be injured and not get any of them, so that the bet would win. And I've heard that it happened, once, and they were trying to do it a second time, and he placed bets. Not on his. He placed bets against his own team, but he wasn't playing.
Right in those games.
And he placed other NBA bets, which you can't do.
You can't.
But I mean,
somebody else's account too.
It's
trying to be slick with it. You know what I mean? Placing 13 other bets, man. He's using somebody else's account.
He's probably going to go to jail. I mean,
I was going to say, this is a pretty serious offense.
You know what I mean? He's talking about $1 million.
Like what was Henry Hill and Tommy DeVito and all those guys? Not Tommy DeVito from the Giants, but come on, what are you doing, man? This is the mob affiliated. What's going on there, Jonte?
It sounded like he was in debt to somebody like a bookie or something.
Probably, man.
And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bookie told him to do it, but again, read up on it. But it is pretty crazy.
It was. I mean, from what I'm hearing from his attorney, though, that they were saying that quote unquote he was in over his head due to a gambling addiction.
That's what I heard too.
And as of right now, he's currently cooperating with the investigators and he's seeking treatment for that gambling addiction. Yeah. So obviously, if he's trying to get himself some help, good for him. But I mean, he's never going to play in the NBA again.
No,
very stupid.
Gambling, it's a thing. I mean. Don't bet what you can't afford to lose.
Right.
We talk a lot about odds and betting, and keep it in moderation,
right.
Please, everybody. It can be an addiction, just like a lot of things. And I feel terrible for this guy, but it's like, obviously you take it way too far when you get to that point. So
I mean, he probably worked his whole life to get to the NBA, man, and now you're banned for life because of some bets. Mind you, he was probably making more money than those bets.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Yeah, $410,000 he made last year. So
we need to get a "Come On, Man" segment going. Because he'd be on that for sure.
For sure. So I got, Kemba Walker was the other thing that we didn't really bring up. Kemba Walker retired. He was obviously from UConn, Celtics guy, Hornets, Knicks, Mavs. He played for. I heard he was signing on as an assistant coach.
He is. He rejoined the Hornets as part of their coaching staff.
So he just retired this week. So I think you had a joke about the Walker.
Oh yeah. So it was funny when he signed with the Boston Celtics. Number 8 Walker. I told everybody, man, I got 2 for 1 because we had a guy named Antoine Walker who was also number 8. So it worked out great. I mean, obviously we didn't have Kemba for much. I think we had him for a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons.
It wasn't very long.
But yeah, it was great. I told everybody like, oh, is that a Kemba jersey? I'm like, nah, it's an Antoine Walker jersey. Come on, man. But yeah, I liked Kemba a lot, man. And you know what's funny too, man, is back in the March Madness of 2011.
Yep.
That step back he had against Pittsburgh to hit that buzzer beater was to this day the filthiest step back I've ever seen in my life. He dropped the dude, nothing but net. And to this day, I was just watching the replay earlier. Every time I watch it, I get goosebumps. Cardiac Kemba, as they called him.
Yeah,
that's right.
I liked him. I always liked him. We got some NHL free agency stuff. I'm going to talk about the Predators first, though. The Predators went out and did some things. They signed 3 or 4 really good guys, but 2 in particular, 2 40-plus goal scorers this past year. Steven Stamkos, who has played 16 years for
the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The Tampa Bay, yeah. So
Number 1 pick in 08.
Kid's an animal.
Yep.
And then they signed Jonathan Marchessault from Vegas Golden Knights, who won the Conn Smythe a couple years ago when they won the Cup. So they just added. So Marchessault had 42 goals last year. Stamkos had 40. Okay, 41 assists for Stamkos, 27 assists for Marchessault. So
good start to the offseason.
That is an amazing start.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, their odds obviously jumped for Stanley Cup, but the Bruins made a couple of pretty cool additions too. We signed some lower end guys, but we actually signed a couple guys that I really like. This weirdly enough, both the guys played last year. They played for Calgary. They both got traded to Vancouver.
Yep.
Vancouver had a great season.
I thought that was really interesting too.
And they both were drafted in the same draft in the first round.
Yep.
So only 8 picks apart. So Elias Lindholm, who I actually thought played really well in the Stanley Cup playoffs, he had 44 points last year in 75 games. Great addition, good guy. He was drafted 5th overall in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So then we have, I want to read you what he said in his post, in his press conference rather. When Boston came into the picture, it was kind of an easy decision. I think being a Bruin is a dream. A lot of history, a lot of great players. I think they're right there. They gave Florida a pretty good matchup. And he goes on to say other great things, but just I love that.
Yeah,
I
no,
absolutely
definitely.
love that.
That's
So-
high praise. An organization he never even played for. He's not even from here. So
Right.
awesome, man.
I love
like to
that.
hear that.
And then the next guy they got is Nikita Zadorov. So this kid is 6'6", 250. And what have I been saying with the Bruins? They need a big banger defenseman, right?
Right.
This kid, again, drafted in 2013, 16th overall. So they were 11 picks apart. They both played for Calgary last year. They both played for Vancouver. Now they're both on the Bruins.
They got some chemistry.
It's pretty cool.
Right.
But what I like about this guy, and I was watching, obviously he's big, he's awesome, but he was talking about, because his last name starts with Z, we had Big Z,
Oh, Big
Zdeno.
Z, that's right. Yep.
So he came out in his press conference and said, don't call me Big Z. You
Yep.
guys already had Big Z, and much respect to Zdeno. He gave a lot of respect to Zdeno.
Awesome.
So,
Love
I mean, we
hearing
got to
that.
come up with a nickname for him, like the second coming of Z, or what do you want, Big Z Jr.?
World War
or,
Z
or
2?
two. Yeah, I mean, so this kid, I love his attitude too, and he is a great addition.
No, I liked both of those signings as well. I wasn't too familiar with both of those guys, but I liked seeing that they were both on two of the same teams last year,
Yeah.
and now they're with the Bruins again. So those guys are clearly familiar with each other, and I'm hoping the chemistry moves over to Boston and helps us out next season.
I think that was a great move, honestly. So
Yeah, I love it, man.
we're gonna move on to the Foxborough Focus. We really don't have much to talk about this week on that. So I mean, why don't you just give me what you got?
Yeah, not much went on this week with the Patriots. I mean, we're slowly getting to training camp. Preseason will be here within a month and a half. But the Patriots reached an extension with linebacker Jelani Tavai, 3 years, $15 million. I like Jelani Tavai. Last year he had 65 tackles, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 2 INTs. I mean, that, not big numbers, but I mean, on every stat number across the defensive board, he was there.
No, he's a good player.
So with that re-signing, the linebacker core stays intact beyond 2024, and that includes Juwan Bentley. Yes, sir. Juwan Bentley, Josh Uche, and then even the guy we just signed from the Browns, Sione Takitaki. He's a versatile linebacker. So we got those guys, for the foreseeable future, unless any trades or anything happens. But Bentley and Tavai were both on the field roughly 74% of the time together. Now, obviously, they were not household names, but they both had an active hand in the Pats defense being as dominant as they were.
Yep.
Now, obviously, going into this season, they retained a lot of the same guys. Like I just said, they brought back Jelani Tavai. We also brought back Kyle Duggar, Christian Barmore, Josh Uche. So, obviously, they want to keep some of those defense and keep adding pieces because that right now is the focal point of our team. The offense still needs a lot of work. I'm liking the moves they're making so far.
The only other thing really is the Patriots training camp opens July 24th. It is open to the public. It's the field right behind the main field. It's
I
the
love
grass
it.
field outside. It is open to the public. 10 a.m. The gates open. 11 a.m. It starts practice. It's fun to go to. Sometimes
I
you
love it.
catch an autograph from a guy or something. It's really cool. But I just wanted to tell you about that too, which I'm sure you've seen too. So.
Man, I remember one time at the training camp, I had Tom Brady. He signed a shirt for me, and this was back when I was in high school. Which is a real quick funny story. He took my shirt and my marker. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. He took my shirt. He took somebody else's marker and then gave me the marker back. And the kid goes, "What?
That's
Didn't even get an autograph." He gave me the autograph with another kid's
Oh,
pen.
that's funny.
Thank you, Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's move on to Lava Round. Let's get it. We're going to do way too early average draft picked positions.
I like it.
Predictions, excuse
like
me.
it,
Predictions. So I'm gonna throw out some guys, and you're gonna tell me where you think they should be drafted, and I'm gonna tell you where they're already kind of going. So there's
Okay.
Yahoo has their mock drafts already. So if I haven't done any mock drafts, and nor would I until the season
Right.
get closer. But
Preseason's
I know,
not even started yet.
I know it's crazy, but we got a guy in our league that's probably done 100 of them already. Sly, if you're watching, I know you probably already got a bunch done. But it takes the overall average of their picks in these mock drafts and spits out a number. Like for example, CMC, his average pick is 1.1. So 99% of people are taking him at 1, and maybe 4 people took him at 2. I don't know.
Right.
But 1.1 is his overall draft. So give me the round, or if you want to say mid to late round this.
Yeah,
I'm going to kick it out. So the first guy we're going to go with is Breece Hall.
Okay, Breece Hall. I'm going to say late first to him.
Okay.
Late
All right.
first. The reason I say late first, now, the Jets depth chart behind him at running back, obviously Dalvin Cook's not there, even though he didn't do nothing with the Jets last year, but they have rookie Braylon Allen, who actually looks like a beast, bro. He's jacked.
Strong. He's real strong.
And Isaiah Davis. I'm not really familiar with who he is, but I just see Breece Hall at the high volume potential. And at the end of last season, he had a game, and unfortunately, it was against the Patriots. I owed you $100.
Yeah, you did.
At last game of the season, 178 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. And like I said, man, it was against that Pats run defense. So that shows that, he had a good end of the season going into this year. He's motivated. I could see him being a late first round pick.
Yeah, their depth chart's weak. I agree with that. And I mean, I'll tell you right now as of July 2nd, when I looked this up, his average draft pick was 4.7 in the first round. So he was going between the 4th and the 5th pick overall. So you're not far off. Second running back taken to CMC, obviously.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, he had 9 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
He played in all 17 games. He had almost 1,600 all-purpose yards. He had 76 catches. And this was with, again, people coming out of the stands to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
so without Aaron Rodgers. So I can see that there's people that really, I mean, he put up numbers last year.
I think the volume could boost him up to maybe, like you said, early first and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's at right now.
Well, at the end of the season, Frank, I forgot to say this, he actually had 3 straight games with over 80 rushing yards as well to end the season.
He's a good player. I mean,
certainly.
So moving on, let's go with Davante Adams.
Davante Adams, okay. So I'm actually going to say late second, possibly early third for him.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons I say that, obviously, Davante Adams is a beast. We all know that. Now, in Las Vegas, they're not fully sure who their quarterback's going to be. Either that's going to be Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. We've discussed this.
Yeah, we did,
You want to hear this interesting statistic? Now, he had 103 catches last year. That's a good season.
That is a great season.
On 175 targets.
Yeah. He got a lot of targets, but he's
175
that's not
targets.
A great ratio, though.
Frank, he had 2 20-plus target games last year.
Wow.
So those quarterbacks, even with the inexperience with the rookie and Aiden O'Connell last year, they knew who to look for.
Yeah.
But so the reason, though, I am, even with those target numbers, which are insane, the reason I'm saying late second, early third is because, honestly, and this I'm going to call this, I see him getting traded midseason. I'm going to say he wants out of Las Vegas.
He could. He very well could. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him really
right
staying
now,
there.
He's going just after the 20th, so it's basically going 20.2. So it's the 20th pick overall is where he's going. So
20th overall, so
yeah,
you're 12-man league. So okay, right, that was close.
Yeah, so I mean, and they just signed Gallup too. They got the 2 tight ends now with Brock Bowers now. So
and Jacoby's going to eat up targets as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. He may want out of there. The next pick, well, let's go with the rookie, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to take him mid to late second.
Okay.
Mid to late second.
He's going 17.8. He's going before Davante Adams.
Okay.
And you're pretty close again.
Okay.
The 17th pick, so he's going right in the mid. If it's a 12-team league, you're going middle of the second round.
Well, I mean, and he is a rookie. Obviously, we still got to see what he can do on the field. Nothing's given just because that's Marvin Harrison's son.
Yep.
But as a rookie, let's face it, he's the biggest name on that receiver depth chart for the Cardinals. Other than that, they have Zay Jones, Michael Wilson, Chris Moore, and Greg Dortch. So again, very high volume potential with Kyler Murray, who loves running around. He's going to be looking for his main guy. So I think
they should be playing from behind.
Mid to late second, and then I think by next season, if he has a good year, he could potentially be a first round pick.
Yeah. Let's go with a quarterback, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills with that horrible receiver depth chart. I mean, we have no room to talk. The Patriots aren't that much better.
Right.
But I'm going to say early third, maybe mid for him. Early third, maybe mid.
He's going 21st.3. He's the first quarterback taken as of right now, which, again, I wouldn't take him first overall with that wide receiver course. So
no.
We're on the same page with that. Let's go with a tight end. Let's go Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta. TJ, if you're watching this, you got a good keeper, man. And I'm going to say you could get him late third.
He's going 24th. It's 25th overall. So
am I roughly around that area?
You're right there.
Okay. Wow.
But what's crazy is that he, right now, again, on Yahoo, he's going before Kelsey.
I actually could see that with the numbers that Kelsey had last year and him.
He's 24.8. Kelsey was 25.5 for draft pick right now, average draft pick. So pretty interesting.
Well, Frank, as a rookie, the dude had 86 catches for 889 yards and 10 touchdowns.
He was an animal. He's my keeper in my league. I drafted him wickedly.
Only 2 games he had under 5 targets.
Yeah.
We're talking fantasy. I mean, that's a pretty good number right there.
Kid's an animal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go with some new teammates. Let's go Nico Collins and Stefan Diggs.
Okay, so again, here's my keeper, Nico Collins. But I'm going to say you could get him late third, and I'm going to say Stephon Diggs you could take early, maybe mid fourth.
They're both right about there. Yeah, so actually Nico is going before Diggs, which
Nico's going. Oh, well, I mean, I predicted that. I'm surprised, though. I thought I was stretching saying that, man.
No, yeah, right now they're 8 picks apart. 36.2 for Nico and 44.8.
I thought we were going to have a debate
Diggs.
there. Wow,
no,
man.
I personally would take Diggs before Nico, but Nico was an animal last year, so you can't go wrong with either guy, really. But.
No, well, for one, Frank, I mean, I had him in fantasy last year. He had games where he put up 146, 168, 191, and 195 receiving
Nico
yards.
went nuts last year.
I mean,
that was a great
glad
pick.
I drafted him in the 13th round. Yes, I did.
He went crazy.
And Diggs, Diggs is a good receiver. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's in an offense now where there's other guys that are going to be wanting the ball as well. So we'll see how he does.
Yep. Let's go with some more new teammates, D-Hop and Calvin Ridley.
Okay, that's a good one. So DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to say you get him late 6th. And Calvin Ridley, I'm going to say early 6th. Where I stand on that, Frank?
You're off on these ones.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So these are 94.3. So that's like 8th or 9th round, depending on what kind of league you're.
That's DeAndre
That's
Hopkins?
Calvin Ridley going before D-Hop. D-Hop's 108.5.
He fell, man.
So
32 years old.
Right. Well, I think the concern is again, Levis is very unproven.
Right.
Although D-Hop had a couple big games with him.
Yeah, he had a 3-touchdown game.
That's what I mean, a 3-touchdown game.
Right.
And of course, I was playing against them that week. It was not fun.
Yeah, never is.
But yeah, so that's those two guys have fallen because I remember. I mean, Ridley went pretty high last year.
Yeah.
There was expectations that he'd be better. He started off the season great.
He did, and him and D-Hop, they actually had pretty similar stats. They had Calvin Ridley had 76 receptions, D-Hop had 75, and then Calvin Ridley had 1,016 yards. D-Hop had 1,057, and then 8 touchdowns for Ridley, 7 for D-Hop. So it's going to be interesting to see how they complement each other this season with Will Levis at quarterback.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. For
yes,
sure.
sir.
Let's go with the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams.
I'm saying round 11 for him. I'm not going to say mid, late. I'm saying round 11.
Yeah, he's 118.3.
Was that on point?
Yes, right on point.
Wow.
But the funny thing is, Jaden Daniels is going 1 pick right ahead of him, 117.3. So people are thinking Daniels will be better. And again, this is going to change once
Obviously.
the preseason starts, but
Right.
I just thought it was interesting to see that. So
Well, I mean, in college, he never threw for more than 5 interceptions in 3 collegiate seasons. I mean, through college, he had a total of 93 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, this offense they just assembled in Chicago, DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, his buddy Roma Dunze. So, and obviously DJ Moore is still there. So I see Caleb Williams coming into a good, especially for a rookie quarterback.
I would
to come
take
to that
Caleb
team.
Williams before Jaden Daniels.
Oh, I was
sure,
just going to
their
say,
offense is way
Washington does not look primed for a rookie quarterback. Yeah, Jaden can run, but I like
Jaden's nasty,
He
but
is.
he's not on a. I mean, they got Keenan Allen now. I mean, Chicago's stacked up. DeAndre Swift is there.
Caleb Williams came into a good situation, man. Very good situation. Yes, sir.
Let's go with Tony Pollard on a new team.
Tony Pollard on the Titans, that stacked Titans offense. I'm going to say you could get him mid to late 6th.
He's going 94th overall. 94th.
Wow, man.
I think that's, again.
What round would that be roughly like?
8th or 9th.
Okay, yeah.
So again, it's to me, I think that's way too late.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Yeah, he's gonna go higher than that.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
What about our boy Ramondre coming off an injury?
Ramondre Stevenson, everybody. I'm going to say mid to late 5th for him. The reason I say that is because he's going to be high volume on our offense as well. Depending on how the quarterbacks play, obviously. We're going to be the focal point of our team is going to be running the ball.
He's going to get the ball.
Now, his season, like Frank just said, his season ended in week 13 with a high ankle sprain. But despite the offense being absolute trash, which we all know it was, he still recorded 5 top 15 weekly fantasy finishes.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
He's doing what he can to, show that, hey, I'm going to be the guy in this offense. You guys can lean on me, carry the team on his back and everything. Hopefully.
Yeah. And so I mean he's going 60th overall. So you're right on the money there.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about a guy we've talked about almost every week. This is Ladd McConkey.
So you know what's funny when you said you had a mystery player for me in my head, I'm thinking he's gonna say Ladd McConkey.
He's our guy. I'm getting a jersey for him.
Why couldn't the Patriots draft him? Come on,
That's
man.
the name right there.
But Ladd McConkey, wow, Frank, that's a good one. I mean, that Chargers offense is not stacked at all. Good head coach in Jim Harbaugh. I'm gonna say he's gonna go mid to late 7th.
He's going later than that. He's in the 10th or 11th, but he's at like a 118. So, but he's getting drafted. I mean, they don't have much. So I mean,
Well,
take a shot late with him and hope he pans out.
A lot of analysts predict him to have a 1,000-yard receiving season his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean Palmer, right, and then him.
Joshua Palmer, Gus Edwards, and J.K. Dobbins at running back. I'm not sure who their tight end is, but yeah, that offense is not looking good. Jim Harbaugh is going to be going back to college very soon if they don't stack that offense.
He went into a bad situation.
And I'm not a fan of Justin Herbert either, so I don't care that they have him. So that's my opinion on that.
Well, I hope McConkey goes crazy. So
I do too.
I like the name.
McConkey. Lad McConkey for MVP, everybody.
That's all we got for today. From Title Town to your town, stay wicked Pissah, everybody.
From Fenway to your way, thanks for listening, everybody.